All right. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. It is Wednesday and we've got some changes ahead in our First Alert forecast. The big weather story for you is that rain and storms make a return to us tomorrow night. We are going to be tracking this closely in our First Alert forecast. This is really the only stormy weather event that we have ahead for you. And the risk of severe storms is pretty minimal, but it is there. So here's what we're talking about. The next storm system. Now, throughout the day on Thursday, scattered showers certainly going to be a possibility, but the really actually stormy weather is not in our forecast until later in the evening. 5, 6 o'clock, we start to see some pop-up showers and storms ahead of the main line. And you do see where that actual storm risk is. The strongest storms are going to be in the area highlighted in yellow, and that does stretch into areas along the Mississippi River from Vicksburg down into Natchez, down into Wilkinson County, Woodville. You guys are going to be included in that level 2 out of 5 risk. Still on the low end, and the main concern is still going to be gusty winds. That's really the main concern for anyone that's under a risk, and not all of our area is under even that level 1. Some of you don't have any kind of severe risk from this next system, but we're still going to watch it closely for you. So it should make its way near the I-55 corridor, the main line that is. In fact, the timing is changing now to have it moving even faster. That's a good news because it means there's not going to be a lot of chances for flash flooding. Any storms that are over you are going to clear pretty quickly, but it does not take away from the fact that we'll still see those potentially damaging wind gusts somewhere upwards of 40 miles an hour in many cases, even throughout the day, up to 40 miles an hour before the system gets here. So keep in mind, tomorrow is going to be very windy, even if you're missing out on the stormy weather. So we're going into the overnight here. 10 o'clock, this now has the main line making its way to the metro area, to the I-55 corridor, and then continuing to push to the east. That means we're essentially done with any severe weather threat as early as midnight or 1 o'clock on Friday morning. Definitely going to be done with it by the time you head out the door and get ready to start your day. So the likelihood of threats here, most things are very minimal. There's just not a lot of ingredients. If a storm does manage to tap into those ingredients, we could see damaging wind gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour, somewhere even as high as 60 miles an hour. It's certainly possible. We can't rule out a spin up tornado, but that potential is very, very low, along with hail or flash flooding. Remember, flash flooding continues to look lower and lower. Rainfall totals look lower and lower the faster this system moves, because you're not going to get those heavy downpours just hanging out with you. So beyond that, the rest of your Friday, still windy, gusts up to 35 miles an hour, but clouds are decreasing. Sunshine returns. We start to dry up. We start to get ready for the weekend, which is going to look really nice. Total sunshine by Saturday and into Sunday. We are going to start off chilly in the low to mid 40s both mornings, but Saturday afternoon, we're looking at mid 60s, and Sunday afternoon, we are looking at low to mid 70s. So a really nice big warm up out ahead for you. And that's going to continue as we head into next week. The start of February looking nice and toasty. So whatever Punxsutawney Phil has to say about it, Groundhog, you know the guy. We're starting off with some spring-like conditions heading into February. That's not to say that we won't see any more cold weather, but for now, it's not in our first alert forecast for the next 7 to 10 days. Even as we start to trend into the mid-60s midweek, there's going to be more ups and downs, and we're still about 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of year. So that's pretty much the gist of your first alert forecast. There's not going to be a lot going on as we head into the start of next week. Our only severe weather threat for now is going to come to you tomorrow night. Stay weather aware. Make sure you have our free First Alert weather app. That's going to pop up on the screen here when we're done. And you can always get the latest updates right there. We'll have more information for you coming up at 4 o'clock on WLBT. Same story, 5 and 6 o'clock. Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts will be there, and we'll talk more about your first alert forecast.